cold outside, the blade came off. That's what it is. I'm blaming everything on the cold today. Hi, I'm Paul Brodie. We're back in my shop. Mitch, me, camera, manufacturing, fabrication. Thank you all for the coffees. We appreciate it very much. We are back working on the Tiger Cub. The last time we worked on this cub, we did a thread inside the port. Some people said, well, why don't you use the milling machine? Well, the obvious reason why is because I can't cut a thread in the milling machine. This is oversized thread. So I want you to see here, this is the standard insert that goes into a Tiger Cub head. Can you see how much larger this one is? It's definitely bigger. And what I've done is, on the stock one, it has holes there. Well, I think the holes make it weaker. It definitely interrupts the flow of the exhaust gas. I know, small point, but... So I didn't put any holes in here. What I'm gonna do is I left it long. We're gonna use my favorite strong Loctite retaining compound, 620. You see here the width of the shoulder? It's not that big. Look how big the shoulder is here. So once this goes in with some good Loctite, it should really hold. That's what I'm counting on. So this is installation time. Our last videos were assembly. We did 3 consecutive videos on assembling or building motorcycles. So I like doing that, but it's great to be back fabricating, making something. So what we're doing is we're going to install the insert, and then we're going to make a header pipe out of bits of tubing. And then after it's installed, you see I've got a groove there. That's where the hacksaw cut goes. Sort of like when we did the shock mounts on the Uramaki. Same kind of a principle. You should feel it bottom. See, there's a little edge there. That's helping me to determine if my filing is flat, because that little mark of machining goes all the way around. If you're wondering why I only have 2 exhaust studs, it's because I only have 2 exhaust studs. They come in shorter, and these are the long ones. And I ordered them from England, and they have not showed up yet. Imagine that. But if you have 2 studs, you can hold down a motor, a cylinder head. So I got the gasket on. There's the head gasket, because you got to maintain the right heights. Yeah. Okay, these are the engine bolts that go in, and this made out of stainless steel. What I wanted you to see how I've marked the bolts, 1, 2, 3, so that I know where they go, because they are 3 different lengths. So I went 1, 2, 3. That's how I figured out which bolts go where. So this was the mock-up pipe, and this went, will it still go in there? Oh, it will go in there, okay. So that was the mock-up pipe like that, and it used to go in a little bit farther. So it used to go into this mark right there. That was where the exhaust spigot was. So that's basically where this line is drawn. So if we cut it right there, then we'll see how this fits. Okay, we'll go to the bandsaw. Can you see when they bend a tube that it, even though they have a, I think they use a mandrel, but It does not stay round at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to watch where the handle ends up in terms of a clock. So I'm at 7:30 now, okay? 7:30. I used to teach this in Frame Building 101 when we had to do some ovalization or something like that. So there, we moved it 10 thou. And we still have to go 39, 38. So that's where I was last time, 7:30. So we're going to go to, I'm calling that 8:30. It's not quite at 9 o'clock yet. We're at 1.5 thou. That's good enough, right, Mitch? Mitch is nodding and smiling. I know you can't see him, but he's nodding and smiling right now. Okay. And we want this to come down at the same angle as the down tube. We're going to call this the down tube. And I think it looks pretty good. I just did tiny little tack welds, that's all. See how the slot is at the bottom? Oh yeah. So, all depending on the angle here, that's a good match. And when I look down here, that also matches as well. So, I think we're off to a good start. I have my mock-up header pipe, and you can see here, this is the straight section, and then there's a curved tube here. So I'm gonna hacksaw off the tack welds here, and then I'm gonna put this into the cylinder head. Then I'm gonna mark on the frame. Are you with me? I'm gonna mark on the frame where the tube ends, and then I'm gonna use the other header pipe that I just welded on, put it onto the exhaust manifold, and then if it's too long, I'll cut it to the same length as this, because I'm trying to replicate this. I know someone else that uses a hacksaw a lot. You know that guy? Okay, so let's see what happens. Oh, there we go. So I put that in there, like that. This is very technical. Can you see how I'm making it level? Like that. So that's the height of the straight section. Line it up. That's where I want to cut it, right there. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to unhacksaw this, and then I can try this on here to see how it fits. And then when I get the right length and shape, I transfer it onto here. So that looks pretty good like that. It's handy having a mock-up pipe, because otherwise, I don't know how you do it. How's this for being scientific? On top of plywood. So if I go to 3 different spots, this will be close enough. That's where that ends, but we have to put in a curved piece as well. So we'll figure out how long that curved piece has to be. It's not going to be very long at all. See, what's important now is to get this at the right angle. And if I butt that up against that tube Can you see how this is a little higher than that? I need to open up this angle here so that it comes down a bit like that. That's what I want right there. So I put 2 lines there. That's my orientation. What the masking tape does, it holds the tubes are concentric with each other. That's the plan. And it means that I can use both hands on my Tic Tacs. So that is the plan. So I've got the masking tape on it now, and if I run my fingers around, I can feel if the tubes are out or in line with each other. I like how it flows down. It's got a good shape to it, and then all we need to do now is to join up this and this, and we're going to use, I don't know, if I use this it's going to be all out of round, so I might use a piece from here. I'm not sure. We'll figure it out. First we'll weld this up, and that's the last bit to do. Okay, we are welded, so let's go figure out this little bit. Okay, so we want that to be right about there. That looks good. Yeah, we got lots of room there. That looks good. What's happening is that the pipe here, this header pipe, is at a slight angle to this, or this is at a slight angle to this. So the largest part won't be right on the bottom. It's going to be back here a little bit. I got my vernier. This is a real vernier because it's got the vernier scale on it, and I'm going to just see what the space is here. 600 thou. That's the smallest part. And then if I go to the back and measure it, I think that's about the widest part. 875. And then the other side is 600 about. Something like that. I'm pretty sure the first one is experimental just to see how it fits. I doubt that it's going to fit properly the very first time. I just don't think so. But you don't know until you try. Okay, so there's the red mark. We're going to cut on this side of the blue line tape. So here we go. Look at that. See what happens? I can rock it back and forth. So I need to take some more off. I need to take more off here. And then this needs to slide down incrementally. That looks pretty good like that. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to tack this part of the header pipe onto that, and then make my final adjustments on that last piece there. So that goes like that. Let's try that. That looks pretty good. Okay. There's not a whole lot of space, but there's just enough space so it doesn't hit. Nice. I'm doing a little bit of filing now just to show you this process, and then we're gonna install the muffler, and I'll do all the final filing later because you don't want to watch all that. So that's basically how the process works. You file down until it all becomes smooth, and then once it's all done and you take some, I don't know, 180 grit, go over the whole pipe, Scotch-Brite. Looks like a one-piece header muffler. What we're gonna do now, I had an idea, we're gonna install this. It's one piece, and I'm gonna see how fast I can put it on the bike, because I used to do things like that and win some prizes at trade shows. Whole nother story, but let's see how long it takes to put this on the bike, okay? Go. There we go. Okay, it's on. There we go. Stop. Hey, stop. There it is. 55 seconds. I don't know. I get a lot of joy out of doing stupid stuff like that. But anyway. Well, you have been in my shop watching header how-to. So that's great. I'm glad you came along for the ride. Mitch and I like coffee. If you buy us coffees, that's much appreciated. See you next week. Take care.